What is going on, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by Galadon Gaming. It's your host, Galadon. We've got more Clash Royale action, and today, I gotta tell you, I'm touching on a touchy subject that seems to have been a hot topic of discussion recently in my streams and my videos. Very controversial, the X-Bow and bad manners and that sort of thing. Now, I will admit there is a sensitive spot in my heart against the X-Bow. I despise it. I find it the least enjoyable card. I don't know how to put it more positively. It's the least enjoyable card of all the cards. As Clash on God would say, it's not my favorite. It's my least favorite. I hate this card. Okay, so X-Bow number 1, Mortar number 2, maybe Royal Giant number 3. So I thought I would show some success that I've been having with my Galadon deck. I don't know what's called this deck that I have here. The Furnace Miner whatever deck. Obviously love the Log deck as well. But sometimes I do find myself up against the X-Bow, and I have to tell you, I'm having some pretty good success defeating X-Bow users. Really, right here, I think the key is to not get caught off guard at the very first deployment. Meaning that when your opponent drops their very first X-Bow, you need to be ready for it. Now, part of being ready for it is where I traditionally always place my first furnace out in the center, out in front, 2 spaces in front of being even with my other towers, or 3. And what that does, very obviously, it causes the X-Bow to lock on to that furnace instead of one of the towers. Now here I don't have the furnace out there because I stacked 2, a little bit of an aggressive move, I will admit, but we're making a lot of inroads towards taking down one or both of his towers right now. And his first X-Bow deployment, well, it didn't go so hot for that opponent there. Anyway, so that's really the key. So there's the next furnace that goes down in front. It is going to grab the attention of the X-Bow. You can see he's about ready to set it down, and when he does, I am prepared. We've got to get over there and focus on it. I throw the Inferno Tower down. Obviously, he has the Mega Minion. He's got the Skeleton Army. I've got my Skeleton Army. He's got a Log. All sorts of stuff going on over there, trying to clear out that X-Bow. Finally, you end up using a Miner, and it seems like I'm wasting a ton of Elixir to take down this X-Bow, but you have to remember that he is also using a lot of Elixir trying to preserve it. So, in fact, he's rotated all the way around and dropped yet another X-Bow, and then he's got the Skeleton Army, he's got the Mega Minion, he's got the Log, he's got all sorts of stuff trying to protect the X-Bow. So really the whole game starts to revolve around protecting the X-Bow, and what happens is he's so focused on trying to get the X-Bow to lock onto my tower that, of course, I've been able to continue to grind down that right lane tower. There, the Miner gets in, trying to get the Fire Spirits in. Time is about to run out. Doesn't look good on the left-hand side for me, though. But we are into overtime, and it's just almost dead even. About 400 hit points each. The Log, the Fireball, just need to get one more Miner down there. The Zap isn't going to do it. Here come Fire Spirits, though. Looks like that could be enough. The Fire Spirits, no, they're stopped by the Log. That's not going to happen. Continuing to try to rotate around. Finally, the Miner is going to get in there, and that is going to end the battle with about 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in overtime, taking down the dirty X-Bow user. Okay, it's not a dirty X-Bow user. You can use the X-Bow, you're not dirty. Again, it's fair. That's the thing. Everybody's allowed to have their favorites and their least favorites. That's true. But I will never go so far as to say that a player who uses the X-Bow has no skill. Okay, I do not believe that. I believe that you have to have skill to win with anything at this point, and that goes the same for the X-Bow, the Mortar, the Royal Giant, the Miner, the Lava Hound, whatever it is, you have to work hard to defend that unit that you're focusing on, and here we go. So we've got another replay, another X-Bow user dropping it out there right away. Again, I've got the Furnace down, and the Furnace is trying to grab that attention of the X-Bow. In the meantime, you can see it's shooting about everything else in the area. Finally, it locks onto the Furnace, but the Skeleton Army is going to do a number on it, getting right in there, wiping that X-Bow out, and it never got a single hit point off on my tower. But check out his right lane. That's right. Again, these X-Bow guys becoming very, very focused on offense, on preserving the X-Bow, and it's cost him nearly 1,000 hit points off his right lane tower in the meantime. So now he's going to some more conventional methods trying to stop me. He throws the Log in behind the Mini P.E.K.K.A. Doesn't quite work out. The guards doing a great job of surviving. And uh-oh, we've got tears already. And I've got rage. I'm sorry, I have nothing but rage for these X-Bow guys. Another X-Bow goes down, but it doesn't get deployed before I drop the furnace. The furnace is down, grabbing the attention of the X-Bow, and now I've got a few extra seconds to try to get somebody in and on top of the X-Bow. Skeleton on skeleton action right there. The log takes out the X-Bow and the princess. Beautiful combination, I have to admit right there. That felt smooth. To get the X-Bow out of the way and the princess down at the same time, a minute 28 left, and of course, you can see about half health on that right lane tower. Now, I will also admit that I don't beat every single X-Bow user, but recently this deck, probably beating about 2/3 of them, and it seems like most of them are making the same mistake, and that is too much focus on offense. They really want to preserve that X-Bow, and it's 6 elixir. I mean, it's a pretty big investment, but at the same time, they cannot ignore what is happening on the opposite lane. So this time I've got the Inferno Tower down, and the Inferno Tower and another log, wiping out both the X-Bow and the princess once again. Final minute, and again, I'm going to put the furnace down and let it drizzle down the right lane, and that's the beauty of the furnace. This furnace can protect my left lane from the X-Bow, simultaneously causing damage down the right lane. I'm going to squeeze in another miner. Here comes the X-Bow, protected this time with the mini P.E.K.K.A. The army of skeletons, and of course the guard's going to work on that. And log versus log. The fire spirits somehow get drawn in on the left. Another furnace goes down, and that X-Bow not going to get a lot of damage. Now, he does get his princess down where I don't have a log in rotation. That's going to hurt me, as she's just going to annihilate all sorts of units on the left. But there it goes. The X-Bow is down, and check out the right lane. That's right, double digits, ladies and gentlemen. This battle is over. He gets the thumbs up as we know what is about to happen. Time runs out. We've got the fireball. We've got the zap spell, but come on. We got to hashtag love the log. That's right, the log to the rescue, rolling down the lane. There it is. Another victory against the not dirty, just X-Bow. All right, let's move on to what I might call a bit of a dirtier deck, okay? Now, the X-Bow in and of itself does kind of aggravate me. I will say it's my least favorite card. I've said that before. But there's another card that really makes me mad, and I failed to touch on it earlier. It's the rocket. Now, it's not just the rocket itself, but it's the way the rocket is used. If you're a rocket user and you're basically counting on almost only rocket damage to take down your opponent's tower, I don't like you. Not one little bit. No, I don't know what it is that kills me. And this goes back to the beginnings of Clash Royale. We used to see Nick at Night do this when we were playing Alpha. Nick at Night used to be able to wipe out your King's Tower just with rockets and fireballs, and I think he was using a lightning spell as well, just defending a little bit. Now, obviously, that has been changed, that's been controlled, but you're seeing a little bit more of this rocket meta creeping its way back into the game, and I don't like it. Now, a big part of the reason is obviously because the game is meant to be strategic and offensive, and yes, again, I'm not going to say that rocket users don't have skill, because again, it's about preserving elixir, it's about trying to gain that elixir advantage. Positive elixir trades, always key, and if you can do that and then afford to throw in a few rockets, that does take skill, but it feels dirty. It just feels dirty. Hashtag feels bad, man. It really does. So this guy has the rocket and the X-Bow, Mega Minion, Inferno Tower, and a couple of sets of spirits as well. And so far, we're having a lot of luck holding him off, keeping him from getting that X-Bow locked onto the tower. Here you see he's got the Inferno Tower, so he is not just ignoring defense. He's focusing on defense while trying to grind out the offense with that X-Bow. Again, though, I get the Inferno Tower down, and it just vaporizes the X-Bow. That X-Bow is gone. It is just a distant memory, out of the way so quickly. Final 60 seconds, and as you can see, we do have the slight hit point advantage as we roll down 2 sets of Fire Spirits out of Infernos down the right-hand lane. He goes with a rocket. Big mistake. That's going to leave him elixir poor. Now, he did successfully defend against the group of units for the most part, but the guards do get there. They're going to try to grind a couple of 100 hit points off that tower. Not going to get a lot done. He's got about 1,000 left. 30 seconds remaining, and I've got to do something to try to get into that tower. I have 2 furnaces working once again. Here comes another rocket. It's going to take out, well, about 500 hit points off that right lane tower, but I've got my miner in there trying to grind down just chip damage right now. I'm going to throw a fireball of my own. That's really to get damage on the tower and, of course, to severely damage the Mega Minion. We've got to prevent that Mega Minion from getting in. So the furnaces keep drizzling fire spirits down the right-hand lane. Mega Minion is gone. He throws another rocket, but that leaves him again elixir starved, and it's my big opportunity to try a big push. Here comes the miner. Miner is in there. Another fireball, and the miner and the fireball just about finishing off that tower. There it is, under 100 hit points, and it's a log again. The log comes to the rescue. Hashtag love the log. Loving this deck. Maybe I should call it the Gala Log deck. It's working for me. All right, you guys, so that is me defeating the X-Bow. Thank you, as always, for spending a few minutes every day with me. Please do hit that thumbs up button, subscribe for daily Clash content. I hope to see you all back here again tomorrow for more full attacks.
Gally Gold, you talk too fast.